Cowboys Nation, listen up because it's time to get real about what's happening in Dallas. This team, man, it's like a roller coaster that doesn't know whether it's climbing or falling. Some weeks we're convinced the defense can take on anyone in the league, and the next we're left wondering what happened to that same fire, that same aggression. And right now, it feels like the frustration is boiling over, especially on that side of the ball. You can feel it from the fans, from the players, and even from the sideline. There's talent, no question about that, but something isn't clicking the way it should, and that has to change fast. Let's start with something obvious. This defense needs to bring more heat. The Cowboys have been way too passive in their approach. When you blitz only 5 times in an entire game, it tells you everything. 5. That's all they brought against Carolina. And on those rare blitzes, yeah, Bryce Young had a decent completion percentage, but at least it made him uncomfortable. That's the point. You might not always get the sack, but you can force quicker decisions, get a bad throw, or even create a turnover. Right now, Dallas is trying to win by rushing 4 and sitting back in coverage, and it's just not working. The quarterback has too much time to breathe back there. You got to make him feel it. Even if the blitz doesn't always hit home, it keeps the offense guessing, and that unpredictability is something this defense desperately needs. The numbers don't lie either. When they send pressure, the rate of disruption jumps dramatically. The pressure percentage goes up, the sack rate nearly doubles, and yet they're still hesitant to do it. It's like the coaching staff is afraid of giving up a big play, but guess what? They're giving those up anyway. If you're already getting beat, at least go down swinging. You can't keep playing safe when the safe option keeps burning you. Sometimes you just got to take that risk and hope your corners can hold up in man coverage long enough to make something happen. That's how you build defensive swagger again. That's how you make quarterbacks think twice before stepping up in the pocket. Speaking of the front, the run defense has been a mess. The fits are off, the gaps aren't being filled properly, and the alignment doesn't even make sense half the time. You see formations where the math simply doesn't add up. 3 tight ends on one side, and Dallas doesn't even match the numbers. It's like they're daring teams to run right at them. And when they do, it's ugly. You've got defensive linemen getting pushed back 10 yards by tight ends, linebackers shooting the wrong gaps, and safeties trying to clean up the mess after the ball carrier has already picked up a first down. That's not winning football. That's desperation defense. It feels like déjà vu from a Mike Nolan era, when everything looked disorganized and every run play was an adventure in confusion. There's no gap integrity, no discipline up front. Even when the Cowboys line up correctly, someone always loses their assignment or gets outmuscled. You can't stop the run that way. You can't set the tone physically if you're constantly reacting instead of dictating. The front 4 has been bullied recently. Players like Osa Odigizwa, who started the year strong, are suddenly disappearing from the stat sheet. You see flashes, but the consistency just isn't there. It's like the whole line is losing one-on-one battles and then looking around wondering who's going to step up next. And the linebackers, oh man, that's a real sore spot right now. They're not filling the right lanes, they're hesitating, and it's costing the defense big time. Kenneth Murray, for instance, looks like the same guy he's been his entire career. Athletic, sure, but inconsistent and slow to diagnose. By the time he reacts, the play's already developing somewhere else. And the young guys, as exciting as they are, still look lost at times. Shamar James has the speed and the energy, but he's guessing more than he's reading. You can't build a strong defense around guessing. You need instincts, timing, and trust, and right now, the Cowboys' linebacking core doesn't have much of that. When Sanborn is on the field, you can actually see a difference. The numbers prove it. Yards per carry drops significantly, and there's at least some sense of stability in the middle. But one player can only do so much when everyone else is misaligned. The truth is the Cowboys might need to go find help. Maybe through a trade, maybe through free agency. Someone with leadership, someone who knows how to plug gaps and command the front 7. The list isn't exactly filled with superstars, but sometimes you don't need flashy. You just need reliable. You need a guy who's not going to miss a tackle or get caught staring in the backfield while a running back slips past him untouched. Now let's talk about the secondary, because the struggles don't stop up front. Donovan Wilson has been a liability in coverage. It's painful to say because he's been a respected voice on the team and plays with intensity, but that doesn't excuse the mistakes. He's not a deep safety, never has been, and yet the coaching staff keeps using him that way, dropping him into deep coverage where he's clearly uncomfortable. Every week there's a blown assignment, a late reaction, or a bad angle that ends in a chunk play for the other team. You got to adjust. Let him play near the line of scrimmage. Let him be physical, blitz him, use his instincts in short zones. But stop pretending he could be your single high anchor. That's just setting him up to fail. Try something different. Put someone else deep. Maybe W. Thomas, maybe Elijah Clark, maybe even Bell if you're willing to experiment. At this point, you're not protecting a lead in the division. You're trying to find something that works before it's too late. This coaching staff has to stop forcing square pegs into round holes. The talent is there. It's just being used in the wrong way. You can see flashes when players are in positions that fit their strengths, but those moments are too few and far between. And look, while we're being honest, let's address the Sam Williams situation. This experiment feels like it's run its course. Every year, we keep waiting for him to put it all together, to channel that athleticism into production, but it's not happening. The penalties, the missed assignments, the lack of discipline, it's all there again. For penalties, for missed tackles, and barely any real pressure on the quarterback. For someone who was supposed to be a key piece of the pass rush rotation, that's just not enough. You can't be a liability on both the run and the pass. It's one thing if you're a situational guy who makes big plays every now and then, but if you're committing penalties that extend drives, that's worse than not making plays at all. It might be time to cut back his snaps and let James Houston take those reps on passing downs. Sure, Houston's undersized, and yeah, he's not a great run defender, but if you're looking for someone who can actually generate some heat, give the man a chance. The Cowboys need someone who can consistently collapse the pocket, because right now, outside of a few bright spots, the defensive line isn't getting home. Clowney still looks like he's trying to find his rhythm. Neen's been dealing with injuries, and the rotation just doesn't have that spark it once did. The energy on this defense feels flat, and that's what worries me most. It's not just about scheme or talent. It's about urgency. Where's the fire? Where's the aggression that used to define this team? When you look back at the best versions of this Cowboys defense, they played fast, they played violent, and they made offenses uncomfortable from the first snap. Right now, they're the ones looking uncomfortable. And until that mindset shifts, until someone steps up and says enough is enough, these problems are going to keep piling up. If there's one thing that separates good defenses from great ones, it's consistency. And that's what the Cowboys are missing the most right now. You can have all the individual talent in the world, but if it doesn't operate as one unit, it falls apart. You see that every Sunday when this defense lines up. One play looks dominant, fast, physical, like the kind of defense that can carry a team deep into the postseason. And then the very next snap, it's like they've never practiced together. Missed tackles, confusion, busted assignments. It's maddening to watch. That up and down identity is killing their rhythm. And until they figure out how to sustain intensity for 4 quarters, they'll keep living in that middle ground between potential and disappointment. Part of that comes down to communication. Too often, you can literally see guys looking around pre-snap, trying to get the call, or shifting at the last second with no clear idea who's got what responsibility. That hesitation costs them. By the time the ball is snapped, the offense already has leverage. Opposing coordinators are seeing it on tape, and they're taking advantage of every bit of confusion. Motion across the formation, play-action looks, misdirection. All of it is working because Dallas is reacting instead of dictating. When your defense is chasing, it's already losing. It doesn't matter how athletic your roster is if the mind isn't moving as fast as the body. And let's be honest, this group hasn't handled adversity well. The moment something goes wrong, you can feel the air come out of the sideline. Where's the leadership? Where's the guy who grabs a teammate's face mask and says, "We're not folding today"? You need that edge, that voice that refuses to let things spiral. Right now, too many players are looking for someone else to make that play, to be that spark. It doesn't work that way. Every great defense has that heartbeat, that emotional center that keeps everyone locked in. Until the Cowboys find that, they're going to keep having these long stretches where nothing seems to click. The coaching staff also deserves a fair share of the blame here. Scheme matters, and the truth is the Cowboys have been stubborn. They keep insisting on playing coverages that don't fit the personnel. They have safeties who belong near the line of scrimmage playing deep, corners who thrive in man coverage, sitting in soft zones, and linebackers who are better attacking downhill, dropping into space they can't handle. That's not adapting. That's forcing a square peg into a round hole. You got to build around what your players actually do well, not what you wish they could do. This isn't about tearing the playbook apart. It's about being flexible enough to make smart adjustments. If your four-man rush isn't working, send five. If your safeties keep getting beat deep, keep them closer to the box. It's football, not rocket science. And while we're on the topic of adjustments, the Cowboys have to fix their situational defense. Third downs have been a nightmare. They get teams into third and long and still can't get off the field. That's all about pressure and awareness. You can't let quarterbacks sit comfortably in the pocket with time to find their third or fourth read. The rush has to hit home or at least force movement. There's no excuse for allowing easy conversions in moments where the defense should be dictating the terms. It breaks the team's spirit when you work hard on first and second down only to give it all away because of a soft zone or a missed tackle on third. That's where good teams separate themselves. They finish defensive drives. Another issue that stands out is tackling. Too many arm tackles, too many players going for the big hit instead of wrapping up. It's the kind of thing that sounds basic, but it's been a problem all season. You can't give up an extra 5 yards after contact and expect to win close games. Fundamentals matter, especially when things aren't going your way. You could draw up all the exotic blitzes you want, but if you can't bring the ball carrier down, it doesn't matter. That's the stuff that defines a disciplined defense, doing the simple things right every time. Now, I know fans want to point fingers, and there's plenty of blame to go around, but what the Cowboys need most is urgency. They've been playing like a team that assumes they'll turn it around eventually, but the NFL doesn't work like that. Every week is a test, and once you fall behind, it's hard to climb back. The effort isn't the issue, it's the focus. You see guys hustling, chasing, but not always smartly. Sometimes it's better to slow down, read the play, and react with precision instead of just sprinting toward chaos. Great defenses play fast, but controlled. Right now, Dallas is fast but frantic. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The NFL rumor mill is ablaze this week, and all eyes are turning to one electrifying name, AMON-RA St. Brown. Sources close to the situation whisper that the dynamic wide receiver has made a stunning decision. He is reportedly choosing Dallas, a move that could send shockwaves through the league. While nothing has been officially confirmed, insiders claim that St. Brown's preference for the Cowboys isn't just a casual flirtation. It's a strategic play that could completely alter Dallas's offensive identity. Dallas, a team historically known for its explosive passing game, could be on the brink of transformation. Imagine St. Brown weaving through defenses with his trademark agility and sure hands, instantly giving the Cowboys a new weapon that opponents simply cannot ignore. Rumors suggest that coaching staff meetings have shifted into overdrive as play designers scramble to incorporate St. Brown's versatility into the playbook. Could we be seeing a revolution in Dallas's offensive schemes? The buzz says yes. League insiders hint that St. Brown's decision is about more than just talent. It's about fit. Sources suggest he sees Dallas as the perfect stage to maximize his impact, with a quarterback ready to sling deep balls and a receiving core that can open up the field. Speculation is rife that his presence could create mismatches that redefine the Cowboys' approach, forcing defensive coordinators across the league to rethink game plans. Some even whisper about the possibility of the team crafting a completely new set of plays designed around St. Brown's unique skill set, a tantalizing prospect for fans hungry for innovation. Of course, rumors are still rumors, and nothing is set in stone. But one thing is clear. The mere possibility of AMON-RA St. Brown choosing Dallas has already sent shockwaves through social media, fantasy leagues, and locker rooms alike. If these whispers hold any truth, the Cowboys may not just be adding a star. They may be reinventing their entire offensive playbook. For now, all eyes remain on St. Brown, and the NFL world waits with bated breath for what could be the most explosive move of the offseason. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.